As the procession and pageantry left the newly blended family to enjoy their sparkling cake, Fred and Quinn each felt as though maybe something between them had just changed. Fake engagement, Quinn reminded herself. This is all fake, a fraud, a fantasy. None of this is real. At least if I was forced to kiss her, Fred thought. It wasn't that bad. She kisses me with more enthusiasm than Beatrice ever did, that's for sure. After dinner concluded, the server presented Fred and Quinn with a photo and a video of their special moment. Congratulations again, she said, passing out crowns to the children. Thank you for celebrating with us here at Dragon World, the most magical place on Earth. So magical that it conjured up an engagement out of nothing, thought Quinn as she smiled and corralled the children toward the door. We have a long drive back tomorrow, she said as Fred caught up to them. Nonsense, said Fred. You'll all fly in the jet with me. We'll have someone deliver the car. A private jet, mused Quinn. Wow. I suppose I'll have to get used to that. Yes, you will, he answered, giving her an impassioned look that shook Quinn to her very core. Oh, what was she doing? She wondered. Change the subject, Quinn. So, did you kids like your first trip to Dragon World? Yes! Cried all three of the children at once, running hand in hand back toward the Fairy Forest Resort. In the morning, a limousine took Fred, Quinn, and the children to the small airport, where the five of them boarded one of Rex Corp's private jets. The flight attendant gave the children coloring books to busy themselves, while Fred and Quinn each made the necessary phone calls to begin the arduous process of moving everyone to the penthouse and renting out Quinn's house. It did not escape Quinn that one of the phone calls she heard Fred make was to Dr. Dean Crawford at Roosevelt Hospital, the supervising doctor who had suspended her without pay at Fred's request. Please reinstate Dr. Quinn Murphy as soon as possible, he said into the phone. I'm satisfied that the entire situation was a misunderstanding. Please see that Dr. Murphy receives her payback, and also a raise, in apology for the incident. Oh, and also, Dr. Crawford. Fred paused before continuing. Note that Dr. Murphy and I are engaged to be married. Quinn heard Dr. Crawford laughing and loudly congratulating them, all the way from her own seat. Quinn felt a pang of nerves. Now her boss knew about their engagement too. She didn't love Fred running his mouth, but she figured that relationships also end all the time. When the moment came, they would also announce their split and move on with their lives. What harm could it do? By the time the jet was on the ground again, all the plans were underway. Everyone who needed to be notified had been told. 2 limousines showed up at the airport to greet everyone. One that would take Fred and Jake home, and one that would take Quinn, Sammy, and Danny home to where their nanny, Nora, was waiting to congratulate them. Back at the penthouse, Jake was so happy that Quinn was becoming his real mom. He had wished so hard, every single day since he'd met her, that this could somehow happen. And now his father had really done it. He'd asked Quinn to marry him. Jake wanted to do something nice for Fred, to show how thankful and happy he was that his father had granted this very remarkable wish. As Fred made his way upstairs to his office to catch up on some business, Jake went into the kitchen. Chef Julian wouldn't be there to fix their dinner until 6 o'clock, so Jake figured he'd have to make the special lunch himself. He knew where Chef Julian kept all the ingredients and all the equipment. He'd just make his dad the best lunch ever. Jake got out the flour, the eggs, and the milk. He was going to make the crepes they so enjoyed. Chef Julian had even taught him how to flip the crepes. Today, he would surprise Fred by showing that he could flip them all by himself. He even took Chef Julian's big, floppy chef hat from on top of the refrigerator and placed it on his own head. It was a bit big, but it made Jake feel like a chef. 2 cups of flour, said Jake out loud to himself as he dumped the flour in and it went all over him and the floor. 4 eggs, he continued, not noticing how many eggshells found their way into the mixture. 2.5 cups of milk and 2 tablespoons of sugar. Yay! Even if Jake was making a sizable mess, he was having a lot of fun as he hoped to surprise his father. He turned on the burner in front of him like he'd watched Chef Julian do 100 times. Then, Jake put some butter into the pan and prepared to add the crepe batter. Just as Jake went to pour the crepe batter from the bowl into the buttered pan, his elbow knocked the pan. It flipped over, and the butter inside caught on fire. Jake yelped and flung his hands up into the air. As he did that, he knocked Chef Julian's hat off his head and into the tiny flame from the pan. But soon, that tiny flame became a bigger one, and the kitchen's fire alarm went off as the fire grew rapidly out of control.
Hi, I am Quinn. Want to know my battle? Then download the Pocket FM app and listen to the exciting episodes of A Mother's Battle now.